Hey, what's up everybody? It's Scott, and today I want to give you an update on the tank, how it's doing, good and bad. First, the recent test that came out, my phosphates were sitting at 0.05 ppm, my nitrates were 0.25 ppm, calcium 430, my magnesium is 1360, and my alkalinity is 9.5 DKH. So as far as my parameters, I'm pretty on. My nitrate and phosphate it's there, but I may want to look into how to remove them. I don't want the system to be totally without it, but the rise in the levels may be to blame for some of the bad things that are going on with the tank. Okay, so let's swing over, and first we'll get into some of the corals. This hammer coral is starting to get wider day by day, but has not spawned out any new heads. I know typically that it's a slow grower, so I'm just happy with the way it is. Next to it, the frog spawn. The clowns are still hosting it and still laying eggs underneath. You can see the bottom, looks like the bottom head right there hasn't come out fully, but then again my tank lights have just come on for the day, so I'm not really concerned about that. But when it fully extends, this thing covers pretty much the whole top of this rock. The anemones, I've put them over here for two reasons. One, I didn't like where they were, and they didn't like it either, and they were moving around quite a bit on me. Since I moved them over here, they have stayed pretty much where they are. They've extended a little bit more and gotten wider. My Onyx clown has come over and checked this one out, so I'm happy. At least she's given a look to it. Next, the torch coral that was purchased at Reef, New York is getting larger each day and wider and more extended, so I'm really thrilled about that. My purple candy canes in the back, they are showing more and more color every day. The centers are getting greener, as if and also the edges, those gold stripes, are coming out. And you can see I lost one head on the bottom, but I'm pretty pleased about how it's recovered. My Fungia plate. This is one coral that just will not do anything. It hasn't grown, it hasn't gotten wider. Ever since I bought this, it's pretty much the same. So I'm just thrilled that it's alive, and it's not deteriorating on me, but it's keeping and holding its own. And it still eats regularly, so I'm not worried about that. My acans are sprouting more heads. As you can see, that little group right there. They're not the red that they were when I bought them, but since they're sprouting new heads and seems to be happy, I'm not going to really be concerned about it. My little Zoa garden, the purple ones here, they were fully closed for about 3 days, but it seems that whatever was bothering them is gone, because they're starting to open up more and more day by day. These guys over here, forgive me, I don't know the names of these. There's only one set of Zoas or Pallies that I know the name of. They are opened up fully, and they're producing more and more heads, which is something that I could never do, and I'm happy about that. It's happening. These guys over here, as you can see, are getting more and more heads underneath, and they're growing. The Utter Chaos, this is the only one I know the name of. I bought this with 2 polyps, and it's grown into now, I believe there's 8. 1, 2, 3, yeah, there's 8 of them now, with the addition of these 2 small ones over here. This candy cane coral keeps filling out wider and wider. At night it opens up fully and is taking mysis shrimp with no problem, so I'm happy about that. The pagoda coral that you see there, I've been having quite the time with. I've changed it to different locations, and the heads are retracted. When it's fully open, it covers pretty much this whole rock it's sitting on. I moved this probably 2 days ago, and more of the polyps are coming out daily, so hopefully that's bouncing back. Next up is my Duncan Coral. This was fully retracted 2 weeks ago. None of the heads were popping out, and it just looked like it was in trouble. I put it down over here to get it shaded, and they started coming out, but not fully, and there were still indications of some problems. So I did some research on them, and I moved it up to the middle of my tank where there was a little bit more flow hitting it, and it's now extending, not like it should, but it looks like it's on its way back from where it was. This red digitata is one of my problems. You can see fresh breaks in it because it fell off the rock. While the polyps are extending, it is showing signs of some bleaching, but also the color itself is a pink instead of a red. I can show you a frag that had come off that what the color was originally, and I'll get to that in a minute. This is the cat's paw coral. It's, again, my lights just came on full, so the polyps will come out more and more as it goes through the day. But it's doing well, it's growing, and if it's not bleaching, I'm happy. Over here is the purple digitata, and this thing's growing like crazy. My camera doesn't really do it justice, but the tips are white and purple, and it's grown and filled in more and more every day that I look at it. Right up there is a small frag of the red digi, and also in the back is another frag of the red digitata. That one there, again, my camera's not picking it up too well. It still looks like the pink of like the first one, but you can tell it's a little darker. That's more red, and it's showing signs of growth, so I'm hopeful that these two frags will fill out and cover this section of my return. I particularly don't really care about the way that looks, so every chance I get to put something there to cover it up will help. These green pallies are now off the original rock that they are on, and they are starting to encrust on the rock. And while they haven't fully opened on me, they are taking food and appear to be happy. Right back here is the Hollywood Stunner chalice. You can see the 3 fingers, and it's growing. The disc itself is growing more and more. So I'm pretty happy about that. I do have plans maybe in the future, let's see if I can get some more on this side, to actually take a pair of bone cutters and cut that out, or even take a frag and move it to a different part of the tank, because I don't particularly like where it is. As you can see, this, my biggest success of the tank, and it's the biggest thorn in my side, are these mushrooms. They have gone completely crazy. The purple and blue ones surround the rock, and they're also very, very big. And I'll be able to show you that in a second. But there is another set behind it, the brown and green, that's filling out the back of the rock. This one right here is actually almost on the sand bed. So I've got to watch that and probably move him to a plug and see what I can do with that. This is how big these things get, and that'll get a little bit more bigger than that, but they're huge. And if you want something to cover a certain area of your tank, these things will go crazy. As far as fish, I still have the powder blue tang. He's my favorite of the tank, and all my fish eat like horses. Since I had the issue with the flame angel and having to quarantine the whole tank, they have not shown any signs of any further disease. My fox face and my yellow tang, again, they're really fat. There's the blue hippo as she goes back into the rock. There she is. My Hippo Tang has been about this one's shown more growth than any of the other ones. In just the last 3 weeks, he's grown pretty big. He's about, I'd say, about 2 inches now. Moving over, this is the Ocellaris and black onyx clowns that I have. They're a mated pair. She can be really nasty at times, and I'll show you results of that in a second. And he just stays there all day. He's the one that watches the eggs, and they won't move to let me show you. But it looks like maybe just a little trace of what was there. That black spot in the back's more of them, but they'll probably be laying more eggs soon. In this rock, as you can see, the yellow tang is in there. I have 2 skunk shrimp, and that's where their cleaning station is set up. And then moving across, this is one of the orange and black mollies that I put in the tank. The reason I put them in the tank is to control some of the algae growth on the rocks. You may be able to see it. It's very tight to the rock. It's not really a big problem, but I just wanted to get them in to kind of take care of that problem. This one's tail, you can see it's been beat up, and that is a direct result of this one liking to swim over where the black onyx clown is. So there's really nothing much I could do with that. Future plans for the tank is basically I want to start filling in. I don't know whether I'm going to go with any more SPS for now. I think I'm going to stick with softies and LPS and try and fill in the tank as much as possible. As you can see from a wide shot, I have a lot of open space, and since I moved the red digi to here, I have this whole section of shelf rock that's just waiting for a coral to be put on it. As far as the rockscape is concerned, I am pretty happy with it. I like the way these 2 shelves look off here and the caves, but you're always kind of tweaking your rock work, and that's what I'll be doing. I'd like to take a moment to thank all the subscribers that have subscribed to me, and give some shout outs to Mike Lemming. Definitely check these people's channels out, and I'll link them down below. First, Mike Lemming, he's got a 75 gallon that he's getting in shape, and as of this recording, his levels are all 0, and he's debating on whether to put his first fish in the tank. Ed's Fish Tank Extreme, he has a 90 gallon tank, really gorgeous tank, so definitely check him out. PsychedelicBabe, she's got a 24 gallon JBJ all-in-one that she got from Aaron's Aquariums, and she's getting that all shaped up and started up. Bay Area Reefs. Bay Area Reefs tank is just, you got to check his tank out to believe it, so definitely check his channel out. As far as future plans for my channel, I'm going to be doing a review on my LED lights. These 2 Chinese black boxes. So that'll be coming up in a future episode, and also I'll be going over, you know, my sump and quarantine system in full, and also the addition of the J-Cod CP20 pump and how that's making out. So again, thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for subscribing. If you like the video, comment, share, and subscribe. Till next time, this is Scott, and I'll see you around the tank.